Yeah, I know. I've got all this Trump stuff, but I have to tell you, this stuff happening with Hillary Clinton, I mean, we just have to enjoy this. Who knows how long it's going to last, but right now, it's worthy of savoring. So you sit tight. Still have loads of stuff to get to in this hour. Do my best to get to all of it. Telephone number if you want to be on the program, 800-282-2882. The email address, ilrushbo at eibnet.com. All right, back to the audio soundbite. This is Mrs. Clinton. She was in at Drake University, Des Moines, Iowa last night. This interview on Fusion TV Network. The three Democrat candidates participated in a presidential forum. It wasn't a debate. It was these correspondents and anchors and reporters at the Fusion Network. It's a joint effort between Disney and Univision. It is an English language Spanish network targeted at Hispanic millennials, from what I understand. So, the university student, Drake University student Thalia Angueno, said white privilege is a term people are talking about. So what we've had here so far from the questions at this forum, we had questions about white terrorism and how it's worse than Islamic terrorism. Mrs. Clinton's agreed. And now we have a question about white privilege. And this student at Drake says, like white privilege, like it's a term people are talking about more openly these days. Certainly people like me, have always known what it means, always understood what white privilege means. Can you tell us what the term white privilege means to you, Mrs. Clinton? And can you give me an example from your life and career when you think you have benefited from white privilege?
It is hard when you're swimming in the ocean to know exactly what's happening around you so much as it is when you're standing on the shore, perhaps watching. Look, I was born white, middle class, in the middle of America. I went to good public schools. I went to a wonderful college. I went to law school. I never really knew what was or wasn't part of the privilege. I just knew that I was a lucky person, and that being lucky was in part related to who I am, where I'm from, and the opportunities I had.
All right, folks, I'm sorry, I have to break this down. I mean, I just can't let this go by and not parse. Look at this first bit. It's hard when you're swimming in the ocean to know exactly what's happening around you. Now, I suspect what she was trying to say there is that white people don't realize they have white privilege, just like fish don't realize they're wet. Does a fish, for example, know that it's in water? Of course not. The only thing a fish knows is when it's not. But it doesn't know it's in water. Does your Labrador retriever know it is a Labrador retriever? Does your dog even know it's a dog? So what Mrs. Clinton is trying to say here is that, well, when you're in the ocean and you're all wet, you don't know what's around you. But when you're standing on the shore, and you're looking at the ocean, then I don't know what. You know everything going on around you. Look, I was born white, middle class, middle of America. And I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. I didn't have anything to do with it. Please forgive me. I didn't know. That's what she's trying to say here. I went to good public schools. It wasn't my fault. I went to a wonderful college. Don't hold it against me. Just because I'm white, I can't help it. God, if I could be something besides white, I would. I wouldn't trade my femaleness, but I would trade my white. Oh, my God, I am so guilty. That's what she wants him to believe. I went to a wonderful college. I went to law school. I never really knew what was or wasn't part of the privilege. I was just your average white American taking advantage of everything that was given to me. I didn't know what I was doing. If I had it to do over again, I wouldn't have accepted any of it. I would have given it all to you. Please forgive me. I feel so bad. And I feel lucky. And it was in part related to who I am, where I'm from, and the opportunities So she admits that she's swimming in white privilege, but don't hold it against me because when you're swimming in the ocean, you don't know what all is around you. This whole notion of white privilege needs to be nuked out of public discourse anyway, because it is, well, for lack of a better term, reverse racism. But what it really is, folks, is just the next, not so disguised, actually, attack and assault on the founding of this country and the institutions and traditions which were set up at the founding. The effort here is to portray the founding as racist and bigoted and sexist, and in doing so, you portray the country which came from the founding that way. So here you have all of these lily-white Democrat politicians who do not pay their staffs with equal pay. They don't have diversity on their staffs. They're mostly lily-white everywhere, but they have to make excuses for it. So Mrs. Clinton is saying, I didn't know. Yes, I benefit. I didn't know. It's not like I knew I was a privileged white person and tried to take advantage of it and score everything I could. I just didn't know. I didn't know. I was white, but I didn't know what it meant. I'm sorry. And for the most part, leftists get away with this because their intentions, of course. And if they promise to go after other beneficiaries of white privilege, then they're loved and adored. Next up, same place, Des Moines, Iowa, Drake University. The moderator, Jorge Ramos, said President Bill Clinton in 1994 with Operation Gatekeeper built new fences at the border with Mexico. You said you voted as senator to build a barrier to keep illegal immigrants from coming in. So would you commit right now not to use the word illegals or illegal to refer to undocumented immigrants?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was a poor choice of words.
You won't use it anymore.
Undocumented. I haven't used it since. I won't use it in the future.
What's the difference between your idea and Donald Trump's idea on building a wall with Mexico?
Well, everybody that I know of in the Democratic Party, and it used to be Republicans too, who favored immigration reform also favored border security.
But you want a wall then?
No, we've already...
You said that.
Well, I voted for border security, and some of it was a fence. I don't think we ever called it a wall. Maybe in some places it was a wall. But it was aimed at controlling our borders.
Okay, so she apologizes for being white. She acknowledges that there is white terrorism and the police are guilty of it. And now she's apologizing for calling illegal aliens what they are. Illegal. And she's apologizing for voting for a border wall by saying it really wasn't a wall, it was a fence. And there's a big difference in a fence and a wall. Besides, the Republicans are the ones that really wanted to do it, and you should blame them, not me, because I'm not going to call them illegal anymore. Now, this is she doesn't shine here, folks. I don't think Jorge Ramos particularly scores any points. That's not my point. She doesn't come across here as anything but a hypocrite. But in this group, it largely won't matter because she's got a D by her name, which gives her all kinds of leeway and latitude to be obfuscational and dishonest, disingenuous, what have you. But I think this stuff's instructive. This woman's not skilled. She doesn't come across as personable, and she's pandering, apologizing, saying whatever people are demanding that she say, feeling whatever they demand that she feel, hoping to end the night with people thinking that she is sincere, and she's nothing but calculating in a typical politician's way. So I just think she's in trouble, and I think she resents all this and really didn't expect to have to endure any of this. But it's all being made possible by the surge of Bernie Sanders.